So, I'll quickly recap last episode's ending. You smuggled out weapons. You discovered that your inaction also has consequences, because I'm a good person and I've never done anything wrong. Um, then, on your way down to the shore, you found pamphlets that alluded to a certain Lord Basset being partially behind the invasion of the woodland by the Underground Duchy or the Grand Duchy. When you finally made it to the shoreline, you discovered a armored mole had successfully defeated many of the Marquesate's town guards. And I think we left off with Luke threatening to rush into battle.
I think I wasn't alone, was I? I think literally we're
I
fucking
was
jumping this
going.
guy, right?
Yeah, I thought we were all running toward him.
I mean, go ahead, yeah.
All right, I require an alley-oop, boys.
Alley-oop?
Oh no, a combo move.
It's a combo move.
It's a wombo combo.
Let's get the wombo combo rolling. I require I'll lead the way, but some assistance to give me a +4 on this roll would be very cool.
Here,
I will assist.
I'll do a knock up so you can throw him
+5.
in the air.
Yo.
I'll assist too.
Are you ready, Max?
Yeah, roll.
All right. 8 plus 3. So yeah, that's a 12 with the bonuses.
Okay. Before you,
I mean,
do
it's an
this,
11 without even any
okay.
assistance.
Before this happens, how exactly do you like a combo move into attacking this mole?
Well, I'm rushing. I just need so whatever you guys can do to help. I leave that up to you mostly.
I just want this to be cool, basically. I have my own vision of it, but I would much prefer hearing it from the player's perspective.
Max, I will let you take this for me for a second. I have a work thing that's just popped up.
God, imagine real life.
I know that.
Please.
Oh, sorry. I know that Vol will probably throw some dust in this guy's eye. I mean, maybe like some mud. Just grab a scoop of mud and go up to him and be like, "Ha!" and just throw it at his helm.
I like the idea that like Bull sort of skids like doing a sort of slide, like a soccer slide, with grabs a ball of mud and hucks it into this person's eye, while Luke jumps up and gets picked up by Paco to get dropped for an overhead strike.
Yes,
and
exactly.
now you can tell me exactly what you do.
Well,
With
I'm going to burn one where the fox folks steal wear and an exhaustion to both hit twice and ignore armor. So let me.
You can hit twice? Dang.
Yes, eagle steel or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
So that's gonna be what is Grace the Age does all 4 options and 1 for double the effect. So 4 harm, ignoring armor, and then suffer little harm, shift range, and impress, dismay, and frighten twice. Or no,
Okay.
sorry, my bad.
Okay. So is this 2 separate attacks, or is it 1 attack that does? That is something that is important for me to know.
It's not 2 separate attacks because it's
okay. In that case,
I think it condenses it into 1 attack. Mechanically, it's 1 attack.
Mechanically, it's 1. Okay. In that case,
it's 1 attack. It's
So you do this, you slam, and there is a ringing noise as you hit on the armor of this duchy warrior of some import. And you recognize something as a hardened warrior that's kind of sickening. The reverberation from metal hitting metal is wrong. That is not the sound of a sword crunching through armor. It is the sound of it denting it severely, but not enough to break straight through. So how much morale harm do you do?
I don't choose that.
You do 2, right? That's because you just did it twice?
I guess so. Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
if I deal 1 morale damage each, then yeah.
Yeah.
Um.
So you do deal the 2 morale as they turn around and they go, "See, this is what I'm talking about. All
Wait,
the
but I cut
woodland."
through armor.
Yeah. There's something about this armor that's different.
Okay, how dare the bullshit magical powers bullshit my bullshit magical powers? What the
That's
fuck?
correct. that's there is a limit to it. It is an actual thing that I've set up. I promise.
I'm gonna fucking research AP tech. What the hell?
Promise. That is an option in the horrible things you've made me do. But this armor is made of different materials and different techniques. And the Duchy's whole thing is high quality minerals and metals and smithing techniques. So their armor is able to shrug off a bit more than the average woodland armor is. And even then, this is obviously someone who's kind of important. So they have this specialized armor that is very much like about defense. This is not something that most people will be wearing. I can promise you that.
Right. Okay. So this. Okay.
This is a bit of a special thing. So
when I hit it, I'd be able to tell this. Was it padded or was it just hard?
It's just straight up hard.
That doesn't protect against concussive force. Okay.
No, it doesn't. So when you strike and it just dents this armor, they say, "See, this is what I'm talking about. The woodland is all fury and noise. And
I punch him again.
Discipline."
Before he can talk.
Monologue.
I'm quicker than his monologue. I am this time. I'm reversing the blade to smash the pommel into his mouth.
He does punch you back.
I parry.
No, but you suffered little harm. So yes.
Okay.
So you.
Oh,
you
I don't have
punch
to
him.
parry. Sweet.
No, because you
this
suffered
man
No,
little
I'm
sounds like he has
smashing the
shit
pommel.
monologues.
I'm doing like the thing where you reverse the sword, hold the blade by your hand, and smash the pommel into the face. Oh, 12 again. Yeah, baby. So this is exhaustion damage. Which yeah, I'll just deal it twice. I don't need to. If he can't hurt me with suffering little harm, I'm not gonna do anything too fancy.
Okay.
So just smash him again in the face.
This has annoyed him significantly more. You see, with the duchy, you could have been something. You're all you are is
Shut
anger.
up! I hit him again. 12
Shove
again.
there.
Yeah. I am a bing bong. That's another 2 exhaustion damage. For a total of 4. It's enough to take out a fucking bear. Die, you piece of shit.
Yeah, that will knock him out. So this guy was very blustery, but his armor was actually pretty good.
Yeah, all right.
So you
looks like a bitch to move around in though. He couldn't even hit me.
He's about to. Yeah, it was very cumbersome. He was about to scream some other thing about anger at you, and you just like literally this was. Oh, okay.
All right, sweet.
Like punches
all right,
the
crisis
shit out of this
solved.
guy.
All right. So he looked pretty important. Vol, any idea? I mean, I don't know anything about the duchy. Do you? I mean, well, obviously you don't. I'm guessing, unless you've been hiding stuff this whole time.
Nope, don't know too much. Real quick, is Dolly around?
Yes.
She get beat up.
Let's have Dolly be around.
Okay. I'll deal with that in just one moment. Tell you what, here, I gotta move real quick. I'll be right back.
And yeah, I'm left alone to deal with the crisis.
Oh no.
Okay. Well, okay, so this guy, he's out cold. The Mark Zaid have been pretty much driven off the pier, right, by this guy, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well. Excellent, Paco. Well, I knocked the guy out.
Good job, I helped.
Yes, you did. Yeah. What do we do with him? He looks pretty important. Actually, does he have a bag or something I can look through? Was he carrying anything?
He was.
How did he get here?
How'd he get here? There's like a shitty dinghy that was obviously taken from a riverfolk boat that didn't take off.
And he just came by himself.
You gotta imagine this guy who monologued at you as you were punching him was pretty arrogant.
Yeah, no, I get that, but obviously someone that arrogant would be important enough to afford a bodyguard. Just that's like ceremony.
Well,
Even if you
who
didn't think
knows?
you needed one.
Who knows whether there's someone else in the clearing who you may have just caused some issue with. They might not be here yet. Who knows? I have plans. You don't. Shut up. Shut the fuck up.
I'll be honest. I don't have plans. I'm Luke, not Atham.
To cause problems for people that aren't here yet. In fact, I'd be offended. I'd be disappointed in myself if I didn't.
True enough. All right. Well, so he's not carrying anything. No, like
he's got a bag, but it's just got a bunch of the flyers in them. Basically, there's like a duchy form, which is it's I don't have a specific number for it, but it's just labeled like dispensation of information request granted, and it's just the license to go over here and spread propaganda.
Right. Okay. So too much to hope for like a full battle plan. I guess.
No.
Yeah. All right.
Actually, you know what? You do get one. You do. I just so that I can introduce this. You do have one thing, which is, this person is part of house. There's like a crest and like a sort of orders from thing. This person is part of House Stonefist. They are a warrior of House Stonefist, which who knows what that means?
Yeah, it means nothing to me at the moment, but could be interesting knowledge down the line. Okay. All right. So we got Mr. Stonefist here. We're down a fox at the moment. Paco
Bull has slid past into the back streets.
I don't know where he's gone.
Yeah. Okay.
If we find his corpse in a dumpster, though.
Sure. Does he? I mean, like, he's got like pocket sand. Or are you gonna steal his cloak?
Well, I would steal his pocket sand. That's a useful tool. Do you not want his pocket sand?
I don't. Never mind. Yeah. No. Great. Good for you. Yeah, you do that. What? Struggling to think of what to do next. Really. I mean, we have a few things to look into. And we still want to get to Blackpaw's Dam at some point.
Would you like a quick refresher on the things you learned last session?
Oh, no.
Yes.
Sure, why not? I have a pretty good idea.
So you learned through Vol's mystery conspiracy cave.
Yeah, we can hear you all right.
Why, what's wrong?
You just pulled your microphone out of your mouth. Holy shit.
Drew Vol's that's getting cut out of the video. Like I'm not subjecting anyone to what just happened there. Through Vol's mystery conspiracy cave, you learned.
Hold on, I'm getting a phone call.
You learned that.
I begin to think this might have been a bad time.
This might not have been the greatest time to do this,
It's
but
all right. We'll work it out. Sorry, am I sounding better now at least?
Yeah.
No, it was just
for 1 second.
Sound. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
So you learned about the murders are perhaps they're all connected in that people are former Marcus 8 spies or Marcus 8 spies who are laying low. You learned that this monster has had materials transferred from all over the woodland in order to help with its production in some way or another. You don't know the specifics of what materials were transferred, but you do know that the Riverfolk had several hush orders. You know that the invasion is somehow possibly linked to the murders, and you do know that the invasion is the duchy now, which was part of the conspiracy that was revealed.
And that is kind of based out of Stormhaven. At least the
Yeah.
count that was orchestrating is based
The
out of
count
Stonehaven.
is based out of Stormhaven, and that is definitely monster-wise, maybe Marcus 8 murders and the other stuff. You do remember that the Silent Paw said they weren't directly hired by the Count, at least.
Yeah. We don't know anything more about the monster, right? Just sort of
No.
vague things about it. Okay.
They just kind of look like a corpse puppet or something like that on strings.
They move like a corpse that's being puppeted around on strings.
Okay, but they maybe don't. They
They have
move
big
like that.
glowing yellow eyes.
Right.
Interesting. I want to go over to Doll. I guess while we're thinking this, are they just knocked out on the there?
Dolly would have. They're sort of coming to because they would have gotten up to try and fight this mole. And they go, "Oh, shit! Ow! Oh, Vol, is that you?"
Oh,
Oh.
Dolly.
Medical.
Sorry. Dolly. You piece of shit. Who did this to you? I mean, oh wait, sorry. No, I guess I should figure who did this to you. Was it just this guy?
Literally, none of our weapons got through that armor. Ugh, he just kept punching people like that's some kind of strategy.
I can't believe somebody would punch in this day and age. That's so dishonorable. But don't worry, we got him. We got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
We got him. You said that Dolly, if I remember correctly, she's a Riverfolk Company guard, right? Not the Marcus 8 guard.
She's like with the Riverfolk Company. She's a skipper. She specializes in skippers. Are basically they don't have debt. They pay fees to be part of the company. But she specialized in sort of the mercenary stuff and clearly has a positive relationship with Vol, whereas many Riverfolk skippers probably have neutral to bad.
Yeah, that would be accurate. I'd be like, listen, I know that you still got, basically a class 3 hangover right now. We've got a situation going on right now. Besides the whole invasion of sort of things, there's a weird bits and pieces flying all about, and we could probably use some help getting access to some records. Have you been making deliveries to this cling? Has that mainly been you that's gone through?
They sort of look to the side and you can tell that they know something, but they go, nothing worth talking about. Do you want to maybe do something? You want to maybe give me something to work with?
Are
That's
you
not
saying that, or is Dolly saying
that's
that?
me saying that. That's me goading you into rolling 2d6 to
Yeah, I could see what I could convince an NPC. I could
yeah, I mean, because you're old friends, I'm gonna say convince an NPC makes sense, unless you want to trick them into answering a question. I mean,
well,
hey,
yeah,
go ahead,
or I
do
could
it,
try and
do it.
intimidate them.
I
I could
guess,
say,
yeah.
no, I'll keep it. I'll keep it above board here. I'll say, listen, Dolly, I saw some weird shit tonight. Shit you wouldn't believe. Well, maybe I've seen pictures of stuff you maybe wouldn't believe. Anyway, I need that to make sense, like right now, especially because we're not going to have a lot of chance to do that in the future, considering that we've got these weirdos coming out of the ground now. So, you know me, you know I can keep a secret. Just tell me, and I'll do the right thing. And then I'll roll for that, I guess.
Okay.
Let me see here. That is with charm, right?
Yes.
All right, so that's 12.
Okay. They're gonna. So they go. I got a hush shipment a while ago for a high-end induction furnace made out in the deserts. Lizard craft. You know how weird that gets. They just proselytize while you're picking up the. Anyway, not important. What was weird about this one was that it was real compact, like big enough for me to just hold it, and they sort of gestured to their torso, just like that. Whereas normally Marquisate, when they're ordering induction furnaces, it's for weapon production, and usually those are like the size of a house.
So
That's the main thing I was shipping. I know some other people in the Riverfolk were shipping some things like high quality glass, some weird chemicals that I don't know anything about those. And then someone was trying to get their hands on that power source that was found out in Reliquwood, that blue fire coal.
it sounds like someone who's putting together a lab. But if you don't know the whole picture, fine. Who was the one who was making you keep your mouth shut? What are you afraid of, Dolly?
This is one step below the Marquis. The Count's the one in charge of this, and he is the second highest ranked Marquisate person in the Woodland right now. If I fuck up one of his orders, not to be rude, but I'm going to be in indentured servitude longer than you have been. My children are going to be stuck with the Riverfolk.
Well, it's a fate I wouldn't wish on anyone or anyone's children. Not exactly endearing me to you, but I will say that it's understandable. But
Good people make bad choices sometimes, Vol. It's part of the business.
And business is booming. But I don't think you're gonna have to. I don't think you're gonna have to worry about the Marquis too much longer. Let's just say that I've been known around the Woodland for some high-profile killing of cats. I've dueled some pretty important characters in the area.
Are you just taking Luke's accomplishments as your own?
I'm just trying to.
This is why he's got such bad reputation with the Marquisate. He hasn't actually done anything. He's just claimed all of Luke's kills.
I'm a kill stealing asshole. No, I'm just trying to set her at ease. So I think she'd feel better if she knew her old friend was a very powerful duelist who had killed a lot of important Marquisate people.
Who had a sword called Cat's Fate, or perhaps Tyrant's Bane.
Or perhaps cat. Fuck. Sorry, I fucked that up. Go ahead.
You see this staff? It's beheaded a lot of cats, and you know what I called it? Curiosity.
Yeah, she's gonna like let out a fucking laugh at that. You're an idiot.
Yeah, but I got you laughing, which is the important part.
Listen, if I can help you down the line, I will. But I can't. No one can know that I just told you that stuff, okay? If I were you, I would maybe check out the research district down in Slyreach, though nothing will be happening right now considering the and they gesture at the mole on the ground, who like starts getting back up, and Luke sees that and goes boom. Pushes them back down.
Wielding the other end of the sword like a club.
It's the like German sword technique where you hold the blade.
Yeah, no,
and
exactly.
Use
That's what he's doing. Yeah, no, it is 100%. That's what it is. That's what he uses against armored enemies.
I mean, you're not wrong.
I know I'm not wrong.
What's it called? I'm like, I think we'll be fine. I say, looking over at the mall, getting the shit kicked out of him by like a 1-foot mouse. We'll all be good. which speaking of, maybe we should go across the river and check it out if this was their main force, or this was one of their forces, and we got the ship kicked out of it pretty easily. I don't know, Luke. What do you think we should do?
Well, we've got a lot of things to investigate. Cross the river is. I mean, I want to help out over there, but there's an army. So if we are going to go in, we should go in with a plan. And I don't really have one for that at the moment.
Well, let me think here. So we've got a bunch of the moles running around, taking over parts of the woodland. We've got a conspiracy. So the conspiracy, from what you were saying, was mainly on the Marquisate side of things, but the other conspiracy was the Lord Basset, he kind of traitor to the woodland, is selling them out to the duchy.
Yeah, Lord Basset has been sending back requests, at least as far as you can imagine, has been sending back requests for the continuation of the invasion of the woodland for as long as they've been in power, and only recently has. I don't know how much of internal mole stuff you would know, underground duchy stuff you would know, so I'm being kind of hesitant at explaining some of this
Not
stuff.
not a lot.
So
I wouldn't over explain because I don't think
whatever
I don't think
power
Paul's gonna know.
runs the moles has for a long time not considered Basset's like requests legitimate at all, and like they're just filed away under stupid plans. But recently, somehow this has come about that they've pulled them out. They've recognized Lord Basset as integral member of the Woodland, who reached out to the duchy for help, and have used that as a springboard to start invading the Woodland.
All right. Well, here's what I think we could do: is we've got to find what's going on with the this conspiracy to make this what would be the right word for it?
And Lord Basset would be in Heartwood, so up past Northtown.
Okay. This I'm trying to think of an animal that would sound like Frankenstein, but I can't really. So I'll just say
Frank
this
Cat Stein.
I mean, you're not wrong, but I don't know if I would. I don't know if I can condone such actions. I would say that this abomination. We've got the Marquisate abomination. We've got the traitor to the woodland. I would like to point out that we still don't exactly know in the conspiracy corkboard. Did we see that the missing people that I might have gotten from the notes from the crocodiles office are the same people who were missing on the corkboard, or like, do you know what I mean? Like, could I?
Yeah, you can reasonably assume that a lot of the missing people are people who were murdered, or people who were sort of not necessarily murdered, but the conspiracy person has put them up there as like, yeah, this person was deeply involved in the Marquisate in some way, and now they are gone out of town.
So it's reasonable to assume there's not a serial killer running around.
It's reasonable to assume it's not a serial killer. It's a targeted thing that looks like serial killing from the outside.
Okay, so we don't have that mystery to solve anymore. All right, so what do you feel like, Luke? Do you think I have a couple plans we could try and go over there and do something with the duchy? I mean, I still have some forms left, and we know how chicken shit they are when it comes to not having above board approval, so we could try and convince them that somebody put a comma somewhere wrong or something like that.
I mean, that's a bit out of my area of expertise, but if you want to try it, I'm all for it.
I don't know if we get the entire army to go, but we could create some confusion.
Confusion and get some people out of there? I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think that's more reasonable than just saying we'll completely repel the invasion with a form.
I mean, it's as much. Yeah, I mean, if we can find a form like that.
These aren't the Erie you're dealing with.
I mean,
come on, they're the duchy. We established that they'll do some crazy shit for forms.
Yeah, they do seem a bit more organized. I don't think just me going and beating the shit out of the one in charge would fix everything. But
Luke's one weakness.
I mean, yeah, this is why we have Vol for legal documentation, which, I mean, if we can, even if we could get them to redeploy, because it seems like everything they do comes from these form things. So if we just get them a form to tell them to move elsewhere, maybe they would move. Be honest, I don't really know this sort of thing.
Well, if I had to assume, I don't know much about the duchy, but here's what I would assume it goes. If you're a leader who has to move a military unit based on a society that is inherently obsessed with documentation, forms, and bureaucracy, either you are the one who has the form and deals with the forms and filling them out, or you have a very specialized person like an equerry or an adjunct or aide de camp who takes care of it for you and is by your side at all times. So theoretically, if we were able to either forge a form going to them or are able to pick one off of them and kind of incept it into their mind / their pockets that this thing is happening, like they have to go somewhere else or they messed up somehow, we could theoretically get them to leave if we think that they are that anal about the forms, which I think we've seen that they're decently so in terms of the past. I don't know. What do you think, Paco? And I'm going to turn over and I'm going to see that Paco got into his third 8-ball of the night and is convulsing on the floor, I'll assume.
Passed out, fucking. Yeah, all right.
Foaming
He's
at the mouth.
okay. I guess I'm piloting the ship today.
Paco has suddenly become an NPC with a big glowing exclamation mark over his head.
Become so high it seeped out to everyone else around him.
I need 40 boar asses.
What the hell?
Huh. Don't engage, Sean. Move on. Don't engage.
I think this is why I need an automatic rifle as my legal right, in case my friend needs 40 boars rampaging across his property. Wild ones.
All right. Yeah. Okay. That sounds like a good idea.
All right.
I mean, we can
let's
just
grab him and throw him in a rowboat, maybe.
yeah.
Actually, I don't think we should take the main vessel because I think that's too conspicuous. I think we should try and take like a rowboat across.
It's conspicuous, but if we're showing up pretending to be traders of some kind, showing up in a rowboat.
Well, I was actually imagining that we were going to just do a stealth mission and kind of like have minimal contact here, if possible.
That would be probably safer. Yeah. All right. Let's wait till night then. We shouldn't go across right in the middle of the day.
Is it still the middle of the day? I thought it was night because that's when we were doing the op.
I thought it was morning.
It's morning-ish.
Oh,
I will ask, what are you doing with the guy if you're gonna wait till night?
If we're gonna wait till night, that actually gives me a great idea. I'm gonna say I'm gonna look over to Luke and I'm gonna say, hey Luke, have you ever seen the great traveling play Reservoir Dogs?
Maybe. I frequent the théâtre sometimes.
Oh.
All right. Well, it's a little bit dated, and the cats obviously, since they've moved in, they haven't liked as much dog-focused cinema, or theater. But let's get a chair, a razor blade, and some good music.
Sure. All right. I think Paco has all of those things in his room.
I do. I feel like I'm missing some context, but that's fine. I can go
fine.
get
Grab the mole.
I'll go. I grab the mole. I don't.
We immediately inject 50 cc's of pure adrenaline into Paco to stop his overdose.
The overdose only gets worse.
It was on adrenaline.
Fair warning, I am getting called back. Are we? For some context, our new ridings in Ontario just dropped, so you know.
Oh,
okay.
Damn! New ridings.
Some of my MPs are having very hard conversations right now. Anyway, but let's carry on. Yes. Carry on.
All right. So I guess we're gonna drag this guy to the ship because, I'm not gonna go that far, as I was mainly making a joke, but I think it would be useful to try and get some information out of him now that we're trying to get. We've made a decision that our goal is to save the other clearing across the way. we need some information on how to do so because none of us are familiar with the duchy enough to really make a decision.
Sorry, we're gonna save Northwood or Heartwood?
Northtown.
Northtown.
Yeah, Northtown, right? That's the thing.
Yeah, that's the one that we had right across the way. Yeah.
Yes.
So,
all right, sounds good.
Yeah, we'll drag him onto the ship. And Paco, what's the best chamber for an interrogation?
Oh, I mean, I suppose you could use like the brig, but I'm always a fan of crow's nest interrogations.
I think we should probably. Well, we're fairly far away from town. That is cinematic, but we don't want to draw too much attention. Especially, I've got an itching feeling in the back.
When you are in the middle of the open ocean and there's no one to hear you scream for miles around.
I mean, yes,
tends to have a lot more of an effect because so maybe the brig.
Yeah, I'll keep watch. Do you want me to help out with the interrogation, or?
Yeah, tell you what. Let's put him in the brig first, and then we'll go over the game plan. Okay, so
that's a good idea.
Okay, yeah. So you plop this guy in the brig. I'm assuming.
Is he awake at this point?
He can be if you'd like.
I'm just wondering what his attitude is. Like, does he seem afraid? Is he seeming defiant?
No, he's defiant. Okay. He basically, like, the minute he wakes up and sort of gets his bearings and sees you, he spits on the ground in front of you and goes, "Fucking vagabonds."
Whoa! All right, buddy. You're lucky your HR rep wasn't here to see that.
Do you really think moles have HR reps?
You mercenary types are all the same.
Do you have any? Hey,
you just scream and yell if things don't go your way. You know nothing of order.
Sir, do you have an HR? Do you have an HR person at your place?
Yeah, and they'd stand with me.
Well, listen, I'm going to need their name. We're going to write you up. We're going to have to write you up. I'm sorry.
I will give you nothing.
Inappropriate behavior on so many levels, and not safe for work, not satisfactory for work.
They're gonna spit on you. They're gonna try and spit on you again.
Jokes on you. Hey. I'm into that.
Hey, no, don't turn Paco on. All right, we're getting out of here before we can go over this. As tempted as I am to have this devolve into us desperately torturing him to try and get his HR rep's name and then wasting one of my forums to send a complaint about him to that HR rep, I don't want it to completely devolve the session. As fun as that would be, we still might do it. Actually, you know what? I might still do it at the end there. But we'll get on to that real quick. All right, Paco. Yes. Okay. We'll do. We got to do the classic divide and conquer here in terms of roles. So we got to have good cop. We've got to have bad cop, and I guess we can have the wild card. I don't know.
Unhinged cop.
Unhinged spooky cop.
Yeah, I guess you kind of had like the flirtatious cop as well, which could work. I don't know. It depends. What are you feeling? Which one are you feeling? Femme fatale or?
Well, listen. Can I throw out a proposition to you, gentlemen, and feel free to shoot me down. But this man seems to be pretty hard-willed, right? He's not doesn't seem like he's going to break easily. Do you think he might talk if he was tripping balls? Because I could facilitate that.
I actually kind of like that. I will say that we haven't started yet, so he might break very quickly. We don't know.
Well, why don't we start and then that'll give me some time to scroll up in my conversation with Max where I sent him a bunch of fantasy drug names, and then so then we go from there. We'll keep it in our back pocket.
I was gonna say, yeah, that would actually. I was gonna actually say that if it doesn't end up working out and he ends up being defiant, then yeah, let's go with the. What is this? What the hell?
What the fuck, Max? What the fucking hell?
Jesus Christ!
That's from the official document.
What official document are you talking about?
The official CIA interrogation techniques document.
Is it really? Jesus Christ!
I was going to say, what, the New York Times funny section at Gitmo? Or like?
Yeah, basically.
That looks like a New Yorker comic strip turned awful. Okay, but
I can't believe you're using CIA interrogation techniques in my fun woodland game.
We haven't even done that yet. I feel like you're pushing us toward it. Anyway.
Oh.
Sorry.
I can take that out if it's that gross for people.
I approve.
Oh, of course you would. All right.
Yeah.
Historical document. What, do you hate history?
I do.
Classic American hating his own heritage.
I never said that. Okay, you know what? Let's go. We're gonna go into the thing here. We'll start with him. All right. I'll enter back at least, unless anybody else wants the first crack at him.
Have at her.
All right, go ahead.
All right. I'm gonna enter. I assume he's just tied up with rope without his armor on a seat in the brig.
Yeah.
I'll pull up another seat, and I'll say, "All right, listen. I know my friend gave you a bit of a walloping earlier. That doesn't mean it's too late for us to be on friendly terms. All right. Now, we just want you were talking about the mission earlier. I just want to know what the plan is. You know, who sent you, what your guys' aims in the woodlands are, and why you're blowing everything up. Start with that. That's easy. You want a cigarette? You want some refreshment, something?
If you think I'm going to cooperate with a bunch of mercenaries who don't even have the proper paperwork from the duchy filled out, who punched me to unconsciousness and then tied me up in this shitty dinghy of a vessel, then you are delusional.
All right, first of all, you can insult me, but leave my friend's vessel out of it, all right? Second of all, your entire spectrum of judgment is completely out of whack. Mercenaries being better than soldiers, at least we're good enough to be freelance. Second of all, who said we didn't have the proper authority from the duchy? Maybe we're spies and you just fucked up. Third of all, yeah, you got punched into unconsciousness, but if I remember correctly, there were like 15 people who were at the knuckle sandwich buffet of yours earlier, including one of my good friends who was a pink frog, if you can remember that, you racist.
Oh no. You're gonna fucking give him mud?
I'm sending you some things. Don't worry about it.
Okay. How does he respond to this? Because this is real. You went off of the good cop lane right away.
Well, that's not necessarily true. You got to be still a little bit firm.
I guess, yeah.
I guess I could say, but it's not too late to. Well,
the inferior powers that seek to enslave the woodland are of no consequence to me. I had my orders, and that frog was trying to stand in the way. I am different than you. It's not about who's more skilled mercenary. What it's about is that as a soldier, I bring about order. I bring about change for the good of all. You bring about chaos and violence to serve your own goals.
I'm about to reorder this guy's entire face.
Yeah, I was going to say. All right. Well, right now, what we're having is chaos, and if I'm correct, you're the one who's causing it. I'm looking for peace. I could offer you a nice meal, something to drink, some relaxation additives, you could say. But if you want to just keep it as a hostile terms, keep it chaotic, that's up to you. I will say, if I remember correctly, Max, did the duchy seem to be mole supremacists, where it's like similar theory in the sense where it's like mainly moles are considered better than everyone else? Like they'll treat everyone else equally, but they're still inferior equally, kind of.
No, the duchy is.
At least from what we saw in the mining town.
Yeah, from what you saw, the duchy says it's egalitarian, but it's a huge power that will make things better for itself before anyone else.
Mm-hmm.
And while there are non-moles in the borough, which is the capital, it's mostly moles. It's not really... the reason the duchy is mostly made up of moles is really just because most people don't migrate to live underground for the rest of their lives.
Yeah.
justifiable.
But they aren't. They're more against. They're more classist than they are racist. If that makes any sense.
Yeah, that does make sense.
And that's the worstest of all. I'm joking.
Paco benefits from classism.
I know. Paco is both an extreme classist and an extreme communist at the same time. Very ambiguous about these things.
He wasn't saying that as disgust. He likes being the worstest of all.
Yeah.
All right.
So it's to brag.
So I'm gonna say, well, you're quite a brave mole, and I have to say your fighting skills were impressive. But so I got to say that, why weren't you given the command to take over North Town? I don't see any troops under your control. It seems kind of a shame that a talented officer such as yourself would be wasting his talents here, being a single agent with no men under his command.
I want you to trick an NPC and give yourself a +1 on the roll, unless you already have more for cunning. Because this gets into sort of exactly what this person wants. So you have managed to hit upon exactly their issues and capitalize on them, which is very cool.
So let's say 10.
10. Okay. Let me pull up the name. I don't like speaking poorly of Captain Stout Shield, but are they a captain? Yeah. Listen, his methods are bad. He tends to bully those into accepting certain protocols that otherwise wouldn't be played. That's why I'm not in command. Because the Duchy seems to favor blockheaded brutes over actual intelligence.
Stout Shield. Was he? One moment.
No, I don't think so. He might have been. Let me pull up my notes.
Well, I don't. I mean, did not encounter him at all. This is in character. I'm trying to play a little bit.
Okay.
Was he the gentleman who led the assault on Ember Hill?
I think Ember Hill's on my phone. I'm just trying to figure out who was the actual general for Ember Hill.
I mean, if he's a higher up, and considering he's doing the big assault, I would assume that he would have also been the one to lead the initial. I feel
he wasn't the one who led it, but he was probably involved in. Stout Shield didn't personally lead the assault on Ember Hill. From what I hear, that was a shit show. Apparently, a group came in and started spreading some false orders around. I would have imagined it would be a stain on his career, considering he sanctioned the observation and eventual push into the town. But apparently, failure is okay as long as you're from a important family in the duchy.
Well, I was going to say that, funny enough, we were actually at Ember Hill, and I have to say that the moles that fought there were brave and quite well organized troops, I have to say. But I remember, funny enough, they captured us even as we were no match for their armor or arms. But for some command or another, we were let slip away, and I have to say, to this day, I've thought good fortune that whatever mistake or whoever was in command let it happen. Whoever was put in charge, I guess, was just our luck as the enemies of the duchy that day. Now, I could say that I have no ill will to the duchy, and it wouldn't be too far to say that I would be even willing to help the duchy, and getting rid of this infallible commander, which seems like it would be really the most helpful to the duchy. that I can see right now, the action I can see most helpful to the duchy at the moment. Wouldn't you agree? Now, to be clear, I'm not suggesting anything of what would be the word, foul play, as it were. But there are ways to put forth one's success while shedding light on others' failures. That is really just telling the truth if you look at it.
Okay. So you're suggesting that I take your account and use it as evidence against him in order to get him thrown out into the gutter. I like that plan. Release me now, and I will go right back over to the duchy, and I will let them know of his great crimes.
Well, actually, I was even going to suggest a few other things. Would you believe that we had some mail that we were able to confiscate from the duchy, as it were, when we were escaping? And I looked through some of it, and let me see here. Does your name start with G, was it? E, maybe? I don't know. Are you trying to the thing is, I'm trying to do the whole psychic read him thing by like throwing obvious things out here.
Mm-hmm.
Um let's see, for a soldier, let me think here.
You do know, because Luke went through his stuff, he is from the give me a sec.
Stone
Stone
Paws.
Fist.
Stone Fist.
He's from Stone Fist. He's from the Stone Fist family.
Oh, your last name wouldn't happen to be Stonefist, would it?
Why, yes, it is. I'm glad that the venerable Stone Fist family's legacy has made it up to this surface.
Now, I knew I recognized that name. It stuck out to me when I was looking at the correspondence,
Okay.
because I believe there was some talk in the letters about giving you a command that seems to have gotten lost in the shuffle, as it were, which would make sense considering that I know the slowness of forearms. I've worked for the Erie before, and they have a similar, albeit more barbarous system. That would lead your commendations and rightful place to get lost for many months at a time, if it were. But maybe if this letter was to make its way back, you would be given a command.
Well, if you have that letter, you have to give it to me. I will head back to the duchy and I will rectify all of these mistakes. I swear it.
Of course, but as you can see, I have no ill will to the duchy. I am mainly a humanitarian who, while a mercenary, I do also work in public health. And I have to say that, as you know, war creates a lot of strife and whatnot, and I am here to look out for the small folk, that they may finally be taken care of in a stable and safe environment.
Well, of course, that's what the duchy provides more than any other. Any clearing will have the benefit of stability. The borough has survived for so long because it is impossible for any external factors to affect it. There are no floods, no storms. It is easy for us to bolster any clearing in the woodland with supplies should it need it. They need only sign themselves away over to the duchy so that they may grow into a grander part of our overall plan for the world.
Well, if that's the case, then I would only request in return for my honorable act that you prove to me that the duchy's intent by explaining maybe what these people in these clearings that you've taken over can expect. What is the orders that have been given down to the commanders? What can I prepare for? I don't know if you've noticed, but this ship also is carrying medical supplies that we could maybe help out people. So if we just know how much the duchy is going to do within the next few months and what their aims are, I could at least prevent the suffering of many more innocents and provide order and stability to them along the way.
Valid question.
Well, as is standard procedure, the first thing we do is, unfortunately, with sudden takeovers like these, there are always some dissidents who have to be dealt with. We hope that we can capture them and try them in the course of the law, but some are violent and do end up attacking, and at that point it's really self-defense. The rest of the denizens will, of course, be registered with the duchy. They will get their identification. Construction efforts will go on to build up the clearings, at which point duchy leaders will move in, or de facto clearing leaders that swear themselves over to the duchy will be connected to the overall political scheme. And from there, it's really just building tunnels throughout the woodland to facilitate trade and travel, bringing the duchy's laws into the woodland more effectively, obviously, as an arm of the duchy. And really just bolstering any clearings needs whenever nature is a cruel thing from time to time, and we understand at the duchy that sometimes you just need a little extra help for a month or two. Of course, at no extra cost. The duchy seeks to enrich the lives of all of its citizens. Figure someone out.
Okay. That's a 9.
You can ask me one question. Or is it 2? No, hold 1. Is your character telling the truth? Are they really feeling? What do you intend? What does your character intend to do? How does your character wish I'd, or what does your character wish I'd do? How could I get your character to do blank?
I guess, yeah. Does he actually believe what he's saying? Like, or is it just kind of? I could see that this is probably bullshit in the sense that even if he's telling the truth, it's, I've been around the block. I know that big governments are generally not going to do this right after they just conquered somewhere. But I want to know if he believes it or if he doesn't believe it in the sense of like he doesn't really care about the cause, or if he's just saying it to try and butter me up, if that makes sense, kind of.
Yeah, he's saying it to butter you up. It's half truths, and he does believe in it. The best way to put it is the duchy will do these things, but everything's going to be in the duchy's best interest. It's in the best interest of the duchy to keep a clearing that's under its control well fed, because that clearing is under its control and will be able to like produce something for it, or will have warm bodies to work for it. And yeah, people are going to get the rebuilding efforts is really going to be people are going to rebuild their houses, and the Dutch are going to take credit for it. A lot of this is propaganda.
Good old propaganda.
Okay. Yeah, Arvig. Of course. Well, that should wrap it up. I'll go grab that letter. Or form, I forget exactly which one. But tell you what, I think you and the captain, Captain Paco, I think you guys you had something going there. You want me to send him in so you guys can talk maybe a little bit? I thought you guys had a connection.
Yes, why don't you send him in?
Great. All right, I'll be right out, or I'll be right back. I walk out. Like, all right, guys, I think I've got a good handle on the situation. Doesn't really seem that there's a bunch of what's the word? Secret plans. It's kind of more of just a general smash and conquer plan.
At least from his perspective, I will say.
From his perspective. But I think we've got a good chance to at least sow a little confusion and maybe have the other clearing, have some respite from them for a little bit. Paco, I was gonna say, I noticed that you and him had a little bit of a thing going, and we could use this guy in our corner, I think, decently well. I don't know if I was gonna say, work your swashbuckling magic in there if you want. I don't know how you'd feel about that.
Paco turns around with a cup of water, and he's very much putting something in it.
What are we putting in there? Just out of
I don't want to know. I'm at.
Well,
you guys have fun. I did not hear anything. I did not wake up this morning. I'm out.
I can make one for you as well if you'd like.
I'm on watch. I will drink from my own canteen. Thank you. I will fill it myself.
If it's a hallucinogen or something like that, that's fine. I don't. Is it a fun drug?
Yeah, it's a fun drug.
Okay, that's all I need to know. Well, but I mean, he's pretty good now. I mean, you're free to do what you think is best. I would prefer you don't kill him if that's possible. But
I wouldn't do that.
I was just hoping you could go in there and work some of your swarthy feather fatale magic, with him.
I mean, I suppose I can. I see nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, why don't you go in, just talk it over, see if you guys have anything in common, and let nature decide.
Okay, I can do that. Let me just.
Sounds great. I'm gonna go into my cabin and grab my materials on the far end of the boat, away from whatever's gonna happen in this room. I feel like there's a 50-50 chance that we come back and like Paco's wearing the guy's face or something like that.
That's why I'm going up on deck. I'm on watch.
Tripping on ayahuasca or something like that.
No part of this.
All right, I head on in. Is he? Yeah. Are we untying him? Is that what's happening? Is this?
You can if you want. I wasn't going to until I gave him the letter and was kicking him off the boat. But
all right, I won't then. I won't.
No, it's up to you. You're.
No, it's fine. It's better.
Okay.
I walk in. Hello, my moly friend. How I take it your conversation went well.
Listen, I can promise you a place in House Stonefist and a great many riches that come with the takeover of a new land. You just have to untie me and let me off this boat.
Off this boat?
Yes.
I suppose I could do that. I mean, we're not particularly close to land at the moment, so maybe tell you what, I am the captain, so I can chart us over towards the coast, and maybe we can stop by and pick up some of those riches and let you off. How does that sound?
That sounds wonderful.
Can I get you something to drink? You look a little thirsty. You've been down here for a while. Could be something for the back of your head there.
I would love a drink. Thank you.
I could maybe get you something cold for that.
I'm sorry we got off to the wrong foot earlier.
It's fine. My
mercenaries really get under my skin, if you know what I mean.
Well, you know what? You kind of a testy situation to be in, just in general. Why my compatriot did clock you pretty hard, very suddenly, and that's, I can imagine, not pleasant. So. I'll be right back with something for your head and a drink. And then I leave, and I walk up to Vol. Yeah, he's offering me money to let him go. It was very quick. It didn't take long. Anyway, I'm going to go and make sure he's well fed and watered. And Max, I'm going to.
He's offering money and prestige, actually.
And prestige. Both are things that I already have in droves.
It kind of sounded like a marriage. Kind of sounds like a marriage
proposal.
Oh shit! Is he proposing?
I mean, how do you think you're going to get into House Stonefist?
He was going to say, he's offering you a place in House Stonefist. That sounds pretty explicit to me.
I mean, I suppose so. I suppose that is the case.
What he doesn't know is that Paco is technically the next ruler of the Erie.
combine your houses like this.
Oh my god.
Powerful alliance. Yeah, I'm gonna go and bring him some berries and some and a nice glass of wine, in which is some serenity snowflakes,
Oh no, no.
and also some berries that that are otherwise colloquially known as flashbangers.
What the fuck is this gonna do to this guy?
I'm going for a walk. I will see you all next century. I am gone.
Okay.
Yeah, I walk back in and I feed him some stuff. I give him I let him sip from the glass.
Yep.
And then I offer him berries.
Yeah, he'll eat the berries, he'll drink from the glass, and about like a minute later, why am I sweating so much?
You all right? Even are you feeling okay? Do you have a condition? Maybe you're getting seasick. You probably don't spend a lot of time out at sea, do you?
No, I don't. And my and he sort of reaches out for an invisible light. What is with this surface food?
You seem a little sleepy, my friend. Are you?
This is nothing like in the burrow.
Oh. Hey, maybe I should have my friend Vol come take a look at you. Vol!
You can hear muffled by the door. What's that noise? It sounds like the church bells.
Do you want me to roll for counterfeiting this letter before I come back?
You have a bonus with duchy stuff, don't you? You get to use a thing instead of your roguish feat that you're better at.
Well, I actually well, I have counterfeiting now, so
yeah,
it still does it with finesse rather than.
Well, but what we did was we had a special rule for you, whereas if you have documents beforehand, you can modify them with
cunning, I think, instead.
With cunning, and that way it's you still get to do forging because I like that as part of your character, but it's better for you.
Yeah. So with that in mind, then roll 2d6, and I get a +3 then. And I think I have 3 left now because I had 5 forms originally. I've used 2 now, including this one.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's an 11.
Okay. So yeah, you make this. This is pretty convincing.
I want to make it a letter saying that. Do I want to make it from the Stoneheart family? No. Tell you what. I'll say that it was. From somebody decently high up in the central authority at the what is it? It's not the pit. It's the
borough.
The borough. Telling the main guy to give Stoneheart.
Do you know anyone who's high authority in the borough?
I was hoping there might be something on the form, but that's probably too unrealistic considering they were just general. All right, tell you what.
I mean, you can fish for information. The guy is on drugs right now.
All right, I'll write it all out. I'll leave the from blank and like the authority stuff, like by the authority of blank, for the moment.
Fill in the names later.
And I'll say that, and I'll say that Stout Shield was supposed to give him a command, but it was lost or ignored. I tell you what, I'll put it specifically that it says, this is our second time, writing to you. We've rejected your requests for reconsideration of our thing. Even if you do not agree, we believe that he is ready for a command, blah blah blah. And then I guess I'll come back and I'll find Vol having drugged this guy.
Paco.
Oh, sorry, Paco. I don't. Yeah, sorry. I keep getting my name and others' names confused for some reason. Paco having drugged this guy, I'm gonna be like, what? What did you do? I was telling you to get to know him, flirt a little bit. I didn't tell you to get him high.
This guy's pupils are like fully dilated. He's sweating buckets. There's like a puddle of sweat on the floor under him.
Oh,
And
Christ.
the whites of his eyes are almost like glowing.
I very gently brush a wing past his face, just a little bit tickling with my feathers.
The fuck? What are you doing?
Oh, don't worry. He will answer any question that you ask him.
This is oh God, this is really fucked up, man. This is starting to creep me out a little bit.
You might answer questions he doesn't know the answer to.
Hey, what's your name, man?
I don't know.
What do you want your name to be?
Grembla.
Rambla. That's a cool name. All right, Rembla. Why don't we call you that till you remember your real name and then.
Great.
Hey, if Old asks you some questions, do you think you could answer them? Well, I go
no.
Yes, you can. I'll go work on some I'll work on some medicine. Maybe some antibiotics or something, and yeah, maybe you could ask you some questions about your medical history, and yeah, we'll fix you up.
What?
Go, yeah, ask your question, and then Paco goes to the other side of the room and pretends to do something.
Why would he need antibiotics unless you gave it?
I don't have proficiency in medicine. What do you want from me? Wait, that's the wrong system.
God. All right. Okay.
Full disclosure, I wasn't actually thinking of doing this until he outright just was like, "Hey, I'll give you fortune and fame to let me go." And I decided, yeah.
All right. Tell you what. Okay. Hey, buddy. How you feeling?
Weird.
So if somebody puts your name on a form, what does your name look like if it's on a form? Trying to get him to think a different way so he can.
I'm not sure whether he has. Let me just double check what the effects of these drugs are. Okay, it's gonna be really hard for him to write though. There's flashing lights in his eyes.
No, I'm not asking him to write it. I'm trying to say since forms are so important to their culture, I'm hoping that instead of asking him for his name and saying I don't know, the asking for what it's like on a form.
But you don't like Grembla or whatever?
Well, it will trigger in his mind enough of a learned thing that his mind will immediately go like, oh, form, official name, here's what it is, even though it's like a secondary thing instead of
yeah.
It will come out of instinct rather than fucked up drug brain right now.
Yeah. So, what name do I want to give this guy? I have a naming guide for these. Howard Stonefist.
Howard.
Big H. And then S's.
Okay, all right. Now we're getting somewhere. I start to fill that in. And who gives you and was it Stone Shield? Was it?
It's Stone Fist. No, the person who gives orders.
Who's the general? Like the general who gives you and the general? Because I think you said something is shield, right?
The general for this for Northtown is their last name's Stout Shield.
Stout shield. Okay. Let me see. Who gives you and Stout Shields your orders?
The Parliament.
Okay, I'm gonna just, I think, write by order of the Parliament and hope that that works.
Yeah.
Uh,
Hey, Paco gave this guy 2 different drugs at once.
I'm gonna have to try it. Yeah. I'll do that. And that's about all I need, I think. With that, I'm gonna say Paco. What usually what are the after effects of this drug? Like what is it like coming down or getting a hangover from it?
Oh, well, I mean, mainly just excessive sweatiness. Dehydration is technically a health risk, but infrequent.
Does it affect your memory at all?
No.
Oh, I was hoping we could like dump him and somewhere and like have the letter on him and he'd kind of forget this whole thing. And
I mean, I'm sure I have something for that.
Okay, Luke, I could use your help here. I have a moral.
Luke is far away, like the equivalent of headphones in. Just trying to not.
God. All right. Okay.
Up on the crow's nest, the farthest point away you can get.
All right. I think maybe
no part of this.
Yeah. Let's give it to him. Maybe see if we can.
All right. I'm going to fucking get my fantasy roofies. Hold on.
I'm gonna have to create a
Jesus Christ.
Whoa.
I know, that's when you were talking about giving him stuff after I was talking about romance. I was like, Jesus Christ, Paco.
I was like, I just was thinking, I just had like fantasy magic mushrooms in my head initially, but now you're here with like, oh, let's give him memory loss drugs. I was just like, let's give him something that's gonna make him so silly he'll talk. And you're like, oh, let's drug him. There's fucking Lord.
Let me know. I had no part in any of this.
Anyway,
you were a zebra.
Ultra.
You were a zebra.
Vol is the bad one here.
What?
Agreed.
Yeah,
I think really Luke is the bad one. Choosing to stay on the sidelines is still a choice.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're being a zebra right now.
You're a bystander.
Yes, I'm a bystander. Get me out of here.
Get me out of here.
I will.
All right, just give him the thing. Let's get this over with.
All right.
You are giving this person 3 different narcotics.
Yes.
Roll luck.
What was the second one? Why did you give him 2, Paco?
You gave the.
I rolled a 10.
Fuck. He doesn't die.
What was the name of the lord in the clearing that we're in right now?
In Northtown or Slyreach? Northtown is where the moles are.
Slyreach, they died.
No, I know. I'm
the
thinking,
one who died.
I'm thinking. So it was Lord Bassett who's in Northtown?
Lord Bassett is in Heartwood.
Oh, Heartwood, sorry. Okay. Okay, so yeah, do we know what the name is of the guy who died?
No. No one found that out. It definitely wasn't me. being lazy and not like putting a name plaque somewhere.
No, wait, yeah, I was gonna say I'm gonna kind of lie and try and gaslight you, and I'm gonna say that Cameron did ask, and then you were like, "Oh, I don't want to name this guy," and we were like, "Oh, okay, we'll just ask for it later," and then we never did. So technically, that's on you, even though that actually probably didn't happen for that guy specifically. I think it happened for somebody else, but I'm just trying to convince you that it did happen for him.
It happened for him, but it was Paco. I tried giving Paco a name, and Paco went, "No, he's not even looking at me."
Oh my god. All right, fine. Okay, you know what? Yeah, let's just okay, Paco. Let's just go back to the clearing. We're gonna dump him somewhere, and we're gonna leave this letter on him and hope that he.
Hey, are you keeping the plate mail he was wearing?
Yes.
Only if we're gonna sell us. I'm not gonna use it. It's too cumbersome.
I was gonna say I don't unless you're gonna use it, Paco. I think we're gonna have to keep it on him. Otherwise, the kind of ruse is a little
Oh well, yeah.
Besides,
then
plate mail is like this is fitted. It wouldn't.
Yeah. Then well, yeah.
It would need heavy
plate mail's
modification.
not really Paco's style, so.
Yeah. All right. So we're gonna. I guess if it's all right, Paco, can you steer us back? And I'm gonna find Dolly. I'm gonna ask her what the name of the guy was in the clearing. The Lord. What? Hey, what? What? What's wrong with that? Do you want me to? I'm just speeding it up.
You have a whole scene to with which to come up with a name as we navigate over.
His name was Oxley Murden. He was an avocat. He was an avocat.
An avocado?
No, a lawyer.
Oh shit!
It's avocado in Italian. It's abogado in Spanish, so it sounds like avocado.
It's avocado, classic.
Fucking French. So yeah.
Yeah. Wait. Why are the duchy French?
I'm not talking about. I thought he was asking about the Marquisate lord.
He was saying why aren't they? He wants them to be French.
The duchy are not French.
Yeah,
the Marquisate are French.
Yeah, no, sorry. I thought we were talking about the duchy. My bad.
Okay. So we're gonna put his stuff on. I'll go to Dolly and I'll go be like, "Hey, listen, let's let this guy think. Just let this guy think he took over this clearing real quick, and killed the Lord. We'll because you. Actually, I didn't say that.
No, you didn't.
Let's let this guy think that he took over the clearing and he could figure out what's the name of the Lord of this clearing?
It's in Notes for Players.
Oh. Well, I was saying that in character, like I'm trying to let you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Their name was Oxley Murden. They were kind of a middle, like.
They were.
As far as I know, they were just sort of a person of no import.
Why are they not alive anymore?
Oh shit!
I immediately strike Dolly with my staff.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Roll.
Oh wait. Are you sticking with that?
Yeah.
Oh shit. No, fuck it. I'll go with it. Yeah, let's go. Unless you're not saying that because I just said that they were dead, right? Like that was a mistake, and I went back on it. If that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so they knew that without any sort of input from me.
Yeah, they didn't know that from you.
Okay. Yeah, I guess I'm rolling then.
Ooh. Serenity now up in the crow's nest.
Luke just looks down. What the fuck?
What the fuck is this? No, ignore it. Serenity now. Happy thoughts.
Serenity now, happiness later.
There is no war in Bossing Say.
All right. I hope this isn't going to be embarrassing for me. I've got a 9.
Okay.
Because I don't.
Oh my god! Someone who's not good at combat. Finally. So a 9, you get to pick one. Inflict serious harm, suffer little, shift your range, impress, dismay, or frighten your foe.
Let's go with. Can we say that I trip her and dismay her with my staff, and kind of like do the whole like Ninja Turtle thing where I trip her and then point the stick at her, which it's completely non-threatening to have a blunted stick pointed at your face like a sword would be, and just be like, "Why do you think the leader of the town's dead, Dolly?"
Yeah, okay. God damn it. Fool, you have to stop putting your nose where it doesn't belong. I didn't want to do this to you. And they're gonna sweep your leg. Take 1 exhaustion damage.
Oh shit! I'm actually kind of pretty low because I think I have 2 exhaustion right now because I helped up Luke earlier.
Wait, do I see this going on? Because I think I
you
would
would see this going on.
Okay, all right. I'm descending now.
I'm gonna say, oh yeah, well, sorry, Dolly, but maybe you should stop putting your eyes where they don't belong. And I'm gonna go pocket sand, and I'm gonna throw.
Oh no!
Do I
Okay,
have to
that's
roll for that?
confused senses. Roll with finesse.
Oh fuck, I'm bad at that. Damn it.
You're bad at finesse?
Yeah,
Wait,
Oh,
no,
no.
pocket sand might be different because it's a specific vagrant thing. Here, let me check.
It'll be confused senses, maybe?
Confused senses, roll with cunning instead of finesse.
Oh shit, okay, I'm good. I got a 13 then.
Nice.
Yeah, okay. So you have thrown them off balance. Give yourself an opportunity. On a 10 plus, they take some time to get their bearings and restore their senses before they can act again. So, like, you throw the sand out of the pocket. She goes, ah! Every time! Why do you always do this?
Okay, that's kind of on you. This is my thing at this point. You really should have expected that, especially because amphibians don't have eyelids, right?
They do. They have a clear one, but that's still going to be not great.
Yeah. Okay. So I guess I'll grab some rope lying around, and I'll try and just run behind them and do like a kind of a makeshift like restraint, if that makes sense. Kind of when you're at the beach and you've got a towel and like you wrap your friends around in it, if that makes sense. If you guys ever did that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Kind of like
Okay.
that with the rope. Twist it and throw it on and be like, I didn't want to do this, Dolly, but you I can't look the other way. Not again.
Oh dang! Some
Never
deep
again.
vole lore. Okay. What are you doing with that? Like how?
I guess I'll try and drag her to the ground.
Because here's the thing: she's an amphibian, so she's going to be able to slip out of that once she gets her bearings again, because of the slime on her skin. So, this is an opportunity for you to do something with that. It doesn't have to be like an attack roll or anything. It's just like in fiction. Like, what are you gonna do?
I'm gonna, I guess, just try and arrest her movement as best I can, and then I'm going to say, Paco, if you have any drugs, just throw it at her. She's got a mucous membrane on her skin. It'll immediately be absorbed.
I think as you say that, Luke also like jumps off of the deck.
Yeah, rises out from like behind cover. Do we have a problem here?
Batman out of the shadows.
Da, 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 da.
Yeah, so she gets her bearings back and she's like, God, why is it always the sand? You do that when we spar. It sucks.
Well, yeah, it's to avoid this happening, but obviously you didn't learn from the sparring, all right?
I didn't expect you to actually... What kind of crazy person carries sand in their pocket for combat?
You're lucky it wasn't the glass this time. Also,
At least glass makes sense.
I go on a lot of sandy places, okay? I live a very dusty life.
They are going to throw a dagger at you.
Oh, shit. I'm going to say, before that, I'm just going to say, yes, Luke, we have a problem. Get her, quick.
All right. Lethal or non-lethal?
Non-lethal, please.
Think fast. All right, and then yeah, all right.
I guess I got the dagger. What can I do
You take
with the
one
dagger?
injury damage, or you can, if you have armor, you can block it with one wear on that.
I do not have armor, unless you count the cloak, which would immediately.
Does the cloak have a wear marker?
I think it. I don't remember. I'll just take the damage. I'll just get stabbed. So yeah, I'll get stabbed wherever you think, and I'll mark a. What's it called?
Injury.
Injury, yeah.
Yeah,
so
it like just hit. It nicks your shoulder.
Okay. Where's Paco in all of this?
Watching the mole, I suppose.
Paco, yeah. Of course he's watching the mole. He doesn't know any of this shit's happening.
Yeah.
I mean,
all right, I'm just gonna. Yeah, we'll be fine. I'm just gonna, right in the face. Nothing too complicated.
Get a 1.
That would be funny.
That would be really funny.
It was close, but I still have a +3, 10.
That was not close at all.
7 is pretty
close to a 1. Wow.
Okay, yeah. So you knock her out, or whatever. You could. I think you deal what 1, and then no matter what you do, you'll.
+1. So I do. Well, I've been doing the math wrong. Okay, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do 2 harm. I should have done 6 harm to the mole before.
Oh. Okay.
Wouldn't have changed anything, but
wouldn't have changed anything. But
I've been I've been doing the math wrong. Okay, that's good to know.
Does that okay?
So
are you knocking her
harm, exhaustion?
Are you knocking
harm,
her
assuming.
out, or are you going to dismay her?
It's up to you.
I'll knock her out. She's pulled a knife. It's we're taking prisoners now. I didn't pull a sword, actually.
Yeah, okay. Pulled a knife, to be fair.
So you walk up to this person, like getting out of the makeshift restraint Volas put them in. You just
it's just like a lightning quick shot across the jaw.
Just further reminder that Luke is actually a horrifying monster.
A horrifying engine of destruction. Yeah, he doesn't even drop into like a fighting stance. It's just one quick shot.
He ended her rightly with the
Most people are undeserving of the fighting stance.
This isn't even my final form.
I guess this is the interrogation episode.
I guess
so. All right. Well. All right. I will insist on no drugs for this one, Vol. I'm putting my foot down. Putting my paw down.
I do drugs for the first one. That was him. I might have suggested the second, but that was more to cover, or third, I guess, to cover up the first two. That's not really
cover up. I don't think that's. You know what? Never mind. I don't know how it works.
Okay. Also, I would like to say that you were going to straight up murder him. So, in all fairness, is that really any better?
I was. When did I do this?
I mean, we were going to murder him earlier. It's just that the armor stopped him.
Oh well, yeah, but that was. Yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, you take it out. We didn't know if he had killed all those people or not.
Oh, you'd knocked them out. Apparently, I mean, they've probably
apparently,
killed
but we. Yeah, no, I mean, yes.
Listen, we'll have a debate on consequentialism versus like Aristotelian or whatever.
Okay, listen. Killing someone in the heat of combat is very different. You know what? Never mind. Yes, you're right. Let's. You got any rope?
Yeah. I'll just use some spare rope around the ship, I guess.
Okay.
Right. Listen, we'll have a discussion on Camellia Tillian ethics later.
Fucking, god damn it! They come to and they aren't even fighting. Like they're not even trying to get out of the bonds. They're just sort of resigned to their fate.
All right, I'm gonna just I don't even want to see them for a bit. I'm gonna ask Paco to bring what's his name out of the brig and let's get close to the beach.
Just dump him into the water.
Well, no, I was gonna say let's get as close to the sand and then just chuck him into the sand. Was what I was gonna say.
Which beach, Northtown or Sly Reach?
probably wouldn't do to have the rest of his comrades find him drugged up. And
You think so?
Well, if we
in
drop him
a-
off in Sly Reach, there's a good chance the Marcus A just picks him up.
okay, can we go to like a little bit of like a? Well, I mean, he kind of shit out of all of them. I don't think there's any left.
Put him in
right
the
now.
woods. Put him in the woods.
Is there like like back
turn him into a vagabond?
This would be a very interesting origin story for a vagabond to just, or like a guest star to come in and play as just like as the fucking vagabonded Dutchy guy here. Okay, why don't we find like a little cove right before the main cove that's I guess kind of
Sure.
close to the woods, and we just like chuck him over the side, let him plant down into the sand, leave him, and then we can I guess go over to then we'll interrogate Dolly, and then we'll go to the other town. Oh god.
Yeah, sounds good. All right.
All right, so yeah, is there any coves that are slightly safe that are off to the side before you get to the main cove?
So you are heading to North Town, right?
Oh, well, no, we're
So-
dropping off at Sly Reach.
Fly Reach.
We're gonna
Okay.
drop
yeah.
them off at let's
Yeah.
say can we drop them off at like one of those
Yeah,
little
you can-
islands that's
There's
like before
there's
Yeah.
definitely like a cove, or is there like there's absolutely somewhere you can drop them safely that won't
Yeah.
that
No,
won't
it's-
arouse too much suspicion. You're gonna drop them off on one of the islands?
No, let's
Okay.
No, we're not gonna do that.
no, let's do it on the cove because you can't swim back with this fucking armor. Sorry.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you can definitely do that. There's enough of a. It's not safe, but it's not like woodlands dangerous. If you put him in the woodlands, he would have probably died.
We're not that bad. Come on.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, I guess I'll watch Dolly then while they're doing that.
Okay. So, where do you guys want to go? What do you want to do? Do you want to interrogate another person, I guess? I wasn't even on purpose. Everything's just
I mean, I think we should. It's not as like we just leave her in the ship while we're off doing our mission. So
I mean, we could, but that'd be a bit dangerous.
Be a risk, yeah.
I will say
I'm gonna insist on getting this sorted first.
Okay. In that case, she's come to by now. Again, she's not fighting her bonds or anything. She's sort of resigned to her fate. She's looking down at the ground, like ashamed almost.
Luke, I want you to take point on this one.
All right. Well, give me some pointers. I don't really know the situation here.
Well, I just kind of wanted. I mean, okay. So basically, we went into the mansion last night, right?
Correct.
Of Oxley. He's dead. Correct.
Yes, from poison tea. Yeah.
That was like a couple hours ago, and then a bunch of explosions happened, and people have been running around, and we specifically saw Dolly at the water. We went to go do the thing. We came back. She was knocked out. So it's kind of safe to say that she didn't really talk to anyone like who had been to the mansion that was on the up and up, because we saw two guards there, but as far as we know, I don't think they didn't seem to realize that their master was dead. From what I remember over
They
Oh,
did.
and
They just didn't know who did it, and they were kind of panicking and searching the house.
Okay,
I see. So you mean she knew that Oxley had died, but couldn't have possibly been anywhere near it?
Yeah, she somehow knew that he was a was and not an is conjugation.
Gotcha.
So that was a bit sus. And I tried to subdue her, and it kind of broke under the fight. Yada yada. You saw the rest of it. And then you knocked her out. So, I can't even look at her. I could use somebody else to take point on this. And then we said they're
Sure.
drunk, so I'm a little afraid to let Paco anywhere near her.
Yeah, no, this is I'm fine with this. I'll deal with it. All right, Luke's gonna head on in there.
Yeah, okay.
He's not gonna leave her bound.
Yeah, she's not going to jump out of the chair. She's just going to sit there.
Yeah. All right.
So what do you want to know?
Well, I guess first of all, let's just cut to the chase. How did you know that Oxley was dead?
because the hit was done through Riverfolk contracts.
Okay, that's surprisingly straightforward.
I've been concussed 3 times today. I'm not taking a fourth.
Don't worry, I'll keep the answer. I'll keep the questions pretty straightforward.
And before you ask, yeah, I was in charge of organizing it.
Right. Okay. So organized through who is the unless you're unless you're the count or whatever of Stormhaven, I gotta guess
no.
You weren't the instigator behind the assassination. You just carried it out you just connected a client. What information
the client
can you give?
Was the Riverfolk overall. We were
contacted.
Well, we were contacted by someone who remains anonymous to anyone outside of the main trade hall.
And the Silent Paw didn't ask any questions about their employer?
Enough money, and you don't have to ask too many questions about an employer. Middlemen are pretty common in terms of these kinds of deals. And the more you have, the safer you are.
I suppose. All right. How long ago did the request come in?
It's been about 3 months in the working, and then we started 3 days ago when Ogleby came in. He facilitated the materials, I facilitated the actual person.
Right. Have you done work with the Silent Paw before?
Yes.
Anything more you can tell me about? Any ideas about this client? Any words through the
Whoever
company?
they are, the Riverfolk now has some pretty big debts on them. This was a big job, enough that when normally skippers can refuse contracts, and I didn't want to get in hot water with anyone in the Marquisate, and so they threatened a friend of mine who got out of the Riverfolk Company recently, Vince. They threatened to unearth, with she does air quotes, some documents proving that he had willfully damaged Riverfolk property and would put him into the indentured servitude program. So.
Gotcha. Okay. And you've never heard of the Underground Duchy before?
We trade with them, but mostly out in Six Toes. They haven't made a move for the Woodland in a while. They mostly keep to the Wind Spires. Six Toes, the main point of contact. Though I heard from my network that Ember Hill had started to become something of a trade hub for them here.
Right. Okay. Well, unless there's any other pressing information on your mind, I think that's all I wanted to know. Yeah.
Can you let Vol know I'm sorry?
Sure.
I know it won't do much now, but I was really hoping I could get through the day without him finding out.
Luke's gonna leave, locking the door. All right. Nothing too complicated. Riverfolk were the middlemen on the Silent Paw.
All right. Now, what are we going to do with the body?
We can throw it overboard. I have some
kind of Riverfolk joke I'm too poor to understand.
Shut up, Moneybags. We all know you come from wealth.
Not that I'm opposed.
I don't come from wealth. How fucking dare you?
Look, not that I'm opposed, but Vol, this doesn't seem like something you'd normally want to do.
I'm sorry. I'm a little emotional today. I might also be concussed. I lost a little bit of blood there too.
I have a thing for that.
When you say you have a thing for that, are you saying that it's something that also turns you on, like the spitting, or are you saying that you have something to help with it?
No, I have something to help with it.
Okay, all right.
It won't taste good. Paco
Okay.
gives him a leaf.
It's just like that, like the opium leaf that like some people will like chew on. That's like gives you like a little bit of a high.
Right.
No.
It's actually just a headache reliever.
Not to derail the conversation.
No, Max, it's not.
But so we got sort of two options as far as I see it. We can just let her loose, or if we really want her not running around, we could take her back to an alliance-controlled clearing and hand them over to their authorities.
I mean, she's probably harmless. She probably was just a middleman, like you were saying.
That's what it seems. She did apologize, by the way, to you for letting you find out, though. So,
yeah. Well, let's just say that doesn't feel too great right now. But thank you for telling me, and I guess that's better than nothing. Well, I say we just drop her off and deal with it from there. I don't think she's really going to blab unless she has to.
well, as far as I can tell, it's not many people who she'd be able to blab to. She's, as far as I can tell, it's unrelated to the duchy, at least from her perspective. She could be in trouble with the Marquisate, anyways. The only faction she's in the good graces of is the Riverfolk Company.
Reliefs?
Fuck, I'm trying so hard to spell it. Don't just fucking God. Don't worry about it. I'm working on it.
I like how Brayden is like Cameron in the other campaign, except his like pages and pages of lore and notes are about drugs instead of backstory.
Imperialism.
Yeah. God.
You know, you have to. You write about what you're passionate about.
Medicinal fucking leaves. There we go. I did it. I was trying really hard to spell relieves.
Gotta write from the heart.
Brayden is actually an ultra conservative on like all political issues except for legalization of different drugs. This is the
genuinely
all conservatives are
there to get that written down.
I mean, in behind closed doors. I mean,
behind closed doors, all liberals are uber conservatives except for their desperate need to legalize drugs.
Yeah, that's it's a fact actually. We have a weekly liberal cabal meeting in the basement of Parliament
where you get your hit squads ready.
Yeah, well, where we do
I've
like a little bit of
classic,
culty blood sucking, and then commit to being ultra conservatives, except on drug legalization. That's yeah. It's a weekly meeting. I have it in my calendar.
Nice.
Yeah.
So what's the plan, people? For
well, the plan is this entire section of the recording is going to be redacted, so Brady doesn't lose his job.
Obviously.
Yeah, that is confidential. So
not only do I not want Brayden to lose his job, I do not want government spooks coming.
I don't need CSIS coming to like assassinate me in the middle of the night.
I should probably blur my background for this so that I don't get
your background never shows up. It's only audio.
Yeah.
It's only audio. Oh, bully for that.
Mean,
that's
yeah. If it was video, I might actually have to do laundry.
I've got a lot of partisan signs in the background.
Oh my god.
Here, not to get us back on track, but can we get back on track?
Let's back on track.
We've only got
45 minutes.
45 minutes.
Here, I gotta speak. We'll tell you what. We'll give you some quiet to the audio so that Max can know when to cut it off, and then I'm gonna go pee, and then I'm gonna be back. Okay.
I'm gonna go get water while you guys beef on the audio. Beef on the audio without me and go, dang, Max really had us do a lot of interrogations this session.
I mean, I feel like 2 isn't actually a lot. I mean, like, yes, it's a lot of interrogations, but I feel like, there's police probably do more than that on a frequent basis. Like,
hey,
I mean,
also we
I
haven't
don't know.
caused any injury to our detainees. We're
Well,
doing pretty good.
I mean,
Okay, well, brain damage aside.
Yeah, brain damage. We didn't we're not brutally beating our
No.
and that's commendable. I think that's commendable.
It
I
is.
think it shows that we have enormous moral and ethical restraint.
Yes,
as
I agree. I'm so glad this part isn't getting cut out of the recording.
I know, I am too. Honestly, I gotta start YouTube to MP3ing these and listening to them as podcasts.
There's so good.
Wait, are you talking about
Take your fingers off of your goddamn microphone! Oh my lord, that is without a doubt the worst sound I've ever heard.
I didn't know we were joined by a fucking Rice Krispie commercial today.
I'll listen. You two better shut the fuck up, or I'll give my mic an Indian burn. All right, I'll do it. Oh shit, I hit it. I'm sorry.
Stop.
Oh,
I'm sorry.
Go into your Discord settings and listen to yourself do that. I promise it's a worthwhile experience.
Also, nice catching of my quote in out of context.
Thank you.
I just. Oof.
You're very welcome. What was I gonna say? I don't remember.
Yeah, I'm gonna get some water.
Oh,
it's unusually hot today. It's really kind of annoying.
Hot? Did you say?
It's like what is it?
It's unusually hot here as well.
Yeah, what is it in Celsius here? Let me check.
It's like here it's like +3 in Celsius.
Oh wow, it's +2 here. It's
yeah, it's balmy out. It was like proper raining yesterday.
It's pouring out here.
It started out as pellets, then became wet snow, then it became rain like over the course of the day. I like every 15 minutes I'd turn around and look out my window and it'd just be boom, different thing.
It's
going up to 11 degrees here. It's
eat shit and die.
I'm not happy about it. It's bad. It feels weird, and I'd rather it actually be like not weirdly warm when it shouldn't be. It's fucking unnerving.
Yeah.
No, I don't like sleeping in temperatures that are when it's like hotter than like 4 degrees outside. I overheat.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's like that's properly like illegal. No, none of that.
It's the Celtic blood in us. We can't deal with warm weather.
I mean, yeah, literally.
Fucking Celts.
You just
what?
You're Irish. You're also.
Oh my god!
Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
Actually,
and I am also Scottish as well. So
I know.
Oh my god! All right. Before we get too off track, we'll get back. Yeah. All right, in terms of 3, 2, 1, Max. This is where to cut the audio. So our decision to do right now is I think we wait until it's night. We can leave Dolly in the normal part of the clearing at what's it called? Skyreach, yeah. That's what I meant to say. And then what else we do? Then I guess we just go over to we could go over to Northtown, but we were originally going to maybe get rid of them, but the problem is that I don't see a long-term solution for us right now.
I mean, it's not exactly an easy situation with which to find a long-term solution. Although I can think of one way, but it's not an easy one.
I mean, we still have to go deliver the boat lice. At Black Paws Dam at some point.
I hate that is still a thing that we haven't dealt with.
Yeah, we have a lot of things we need to deal with. There's also
those
we have
are
to follow
dead,
up
right?
on Stormhaven,
those, right?
Yeah, I boiled them in water.
Okay, good.
Yes, no, those are dead. So no worries about boat lice plague upon the woodland anytime soon.
Unless
there's the Count of Stormhaven, which we could go back to, or go to. You guys haven't been there, I think.
Let's see here. We've got. So I personally say that I think we do something similar to what we did with the Erie, where we kind of take care of the regular stuff and strike blows against the duchy.
Dismantle the government in like one night.
Yeah, well, the Erie are kind of bitches, so I don't know what to say about that one.
I don't know. I have a feeling if we just steal, like, they all work off like these paper things, right? If we just steal the like really most important paper, surely the whole thing just falls apart.
Every civilization's got a MacGuffin. Is that what you're saying? That we just can steal?
I mean, it seems like it. Like the Marquisate, you steal their like crown or whatever. The Erie, you steal their scepter. I don't know what you.
I mean, I'll be perfectly honest.
Corvids, but
these moles do sound.
You steal their ability to steal.
Gosh, well, okay, that might be a bit beyond my.
You make a post-scarcity society, and they just crumble.
I will say these moles do seem to be a little bit more, shall we say, politically astute than either the Erie or the Marquisate.
Yes,
like, they might be able to survive having some silly symbolic part of their government stolen.
Maybe.
Like, surely they've got a second copy of their constitution somewhere.
Probably. Constitution. That would
yeah.
make sense. God, politically I just can't handle these more politically correct factions. They just really get on my nerves.
None of these factions are politically correct.
Yeah, I think we've established many times of
no one is
forms
the good guy.
Of racism runs through.
They kind of all suck ass.
Yeah.
Gee, it's almost like this world isn't good and evil. It's almost like it has problem.
Problem. The singular.
It has a singular problem, and it's Luke.
What? Whoa! Come on!
Are you sure it's not Paco?
I stab Luke and save the woodland. Yay! We win.
Yay! Now it's just indentured servants.
Yeah, exactly. And Luke in his falutin rich ways. Also, real quick, as like a side note, I mean, isn't your background specifically that you were nobility and therefore probably rich?
I was like Viking nobility.
Oh, we're getting more Luke lore. You guys are both shipfaring people. Okay.
Well, okay, right. Okay. I mean, like, not like literally Viking, but like more like Scandinavian, early English.
I don't really know what the difference is.
Yeah. But yeah, not like aristocracy, and not like a noble bloodline or anything like that. Just like I was good with sword.
Pulling the curtain back a little bit. Luke's weapon is so good because it comes from like hundreds of. It's one, a legendary sword, and two, comes from hundreds of generations of Luke's family improving upon it, like year after year.
It's apparently that the Viking swords did pretty well because they would beat bones into it sometimes as like a way to infuse dead essence, but that just introduced carbon, so it kind of helped it be a little more steel-like. I've read that on a stupid post that I don't know if that's true. That could be completely wrong, but I thought that was true.
I mean, yeah, carbon does make steel, so
yeah. I mean, it wasn't perfect steel or anything, from what I understood.
No, but it would make it stronger. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not a
metallurgist.
Quality. I'm
metallurgy's
just an astrophysicist.
Cool. I am.
So here's what I'll say. I would like to go to Stormhaven, I think, because I would be interested in following up on this Abomination storyline. I think that's my.
That seems the best way, and sneaking into a recently captured clearing is be very tough. So yeah,
I'm fine with that. Paco hasn't been to Stormhaven in a long time. C'est bon.
All right. Traveling by path or by forest?
Well, I mean, we could.
I guess
go and
technically
do
you could also go around the entire woodland and try and go in by sea.
I mean,
The
yeah,
dam
that's
is
an option.
closed, isn't it?
Yes, but you can get over it. It just costs a lot.
Oh, okay. Let's not do that. I don't want to spend money on shit that we could do for faster.
Yeah, I think that sounds good.
It's
Path?
like, yeah, okay. You can.
Do we want to take the path, or
I can
Yeah.
remind you what travel moves are.
I say we take the path.
if we go through the woodlands, we're rolling, right?
You roll either way. It's just you roll for different things depending on them.
And we if we go by boat, we're gonna encounter another person that hates Paco. Is basically how it works.
Or likes them.
Yeah.
I
Or
met that one guy who liked me. That one guy in.
well,
I
the
think it
one
was
whose
Ember
house
Hill.
you burnt down.
No, I think it was. I think it
That
was the
is
guy.
so. Paco has a +2 to luck. Okay, and 90% of
out
the
of game.
time, 90% of the time they've rolled this move, they have failed
I know.
or gotten
That's
a
what I
7 to
mean.
9.
That's what I mean.
Don't worry about it. It'll be fine.
He's got luck in game, but when it comes to rolling the dice,
I don't have luck IRL.
Okay, so traveling along the path, you collectively decide how to travel in one-member rolls. You can travel at a relaxing pace. Everyone clears 3 exhaustion. You collectively mark 2 depletion. You get a -1 to the roll. At an average pace, clear 2 exhaustion. Collectively mark 1 depletion +0 to the roll. Safely, collectively mark 1 depletion +1 to the roll. Or urgently, everyone marks exhaustion +2 to the roll. On a hit, you get to the next clearing in a timely fashion. On a 10+, the trip is uninterrupted. On a 7 to 9, you encounter something noteworthy on the path, a caravan, a battleground, or something else odd passing through. On a miss, you are caught in the middle of a dangerous situation before you arrive at the next clearing. Travel through the forest instead of it's just basically the opposite of path. So instead of recovering exhaustion, you recover depletion and you mark exhaustion. Same thing. The forest is a little bit more dangerous. You're vagabonds, you can deal with it.
I mean, how are you a lot doing on depletion? Because I'm good, but I haven't used a lot recently.
I have 3 depletion available. I've used 1.
Okay.
I think I'm still tapped out from the other clearing, if I remember correctly. I lost my character sheet in a move, and I have to redo it. But if I remember correctly, I'm still out of all my stuff from.
I think you're out of depletion. Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know how we're going to do that.
Well, we're not in a rush, are we? So we can just go slow.
We do all have a lot of exhaustion, right? And I have an injury. We could, is there a way to get to, could we just fish and rest for most of the day and then travel at night, or?
There's not specific rules for traveling at night, but so yes, you can travel at night, and it won't decrease the roll or anything.
Mm-hmm.
You could spend time to heal up that one injury, bandage it. Usually that costs a depletion to do, though.
I feel like the sooner the better.
Well, yeah, in general.
Yeah.
So, but we should, Vol
I feel like we
should
could
rest
roll,
up.
and it would be fine.
Mm-hmm. I'm good to roll, yeah.
All right.
All
I'm gonna
right.
pawn that off on one of you two, because I normally roll for the boat.
So you're going
What am I
slow,
adding?
correct? You're adding, if you're going slow, you're adding -1.
Slow gives us
you get 3 exhaustion back. Unless you're traveling in forest.
And how much depletion do we mark?
You mark 2 depletion total.
Okay, I can do that for everyone because I don't use my depletion much. All right. 8 and -1, you said?
Yep.
7.
Okay, 7. That's all right. This is the first time you've traveled on the path. You travel by boat or the forest mostly. The paths between clearings are interesting. They are partially born from what must have been years ago a large burn through the forest. But they are kept neat by constant, or not constant, but by significant amounts of foot traffic in between the clearings. While you're traveling, it takes a day and a night, let's say. What is one thing each of you see that's a little bit like that you haven't seen before or that's noteworthy?
Are there deer in the woodland?
Deer are like forest spirits. They're kind of ephemeral.
Paco sees a deer.
Off to the side of the path?
Yeah, in the distance.
Yeah, you see this lithe thing in the distance.
Unacceptable. Unacceptable? Did you see the fool? They flipped the bitch.
They move through this woodland and they aren't making a sound, even though they should be stepping on branches and making all this noise going through the trees. It is completely silent, and it turns its head and it stares directly at you, and you can swear its eyes go white, and you blink and then it's gone.
Paco checks all of his drugs to see if he's taken any.
You haven't!
What the fuck? Paco is shook. He doesn't tell anyone.
Why don't we go to Vol? What do you see?
That's a hard one. Could you come back to me, actually?
Yeah.
Sorry.
Luke, what do you see?
Luke sees a place he's. I haven't decided exactly what it is, but I would welcome suggestions. Somewhere he's been before, like place he's camped in the long past, because this is sort of around.
Yeah, this is around
where he
his
lived.
home.
Yeah, so yeah,
we'll say it's. Oh, you know what I really like the idea of? It is one of the large redwoods in the Oldwood. These towering behemoths that entire cities can be built on in Roos for the Erie. One of them alongside the path, centuries before you were around, got hit by a massive burst of lightning or something, and so it's this charred up husk that sort of bends inwards on itself, and it forms a natural hollow where you were able to rest for a while. Let's say immediately after the destruction of Stormhaven. It's where you sat and licked your wounds, and where you saw the orange glow over top the mountains that signified your home burning.
Nice. I guess we'll wait for Vol to be back.
We'll wait for Vol, as I definitely have something set up for an encounter on the road. Oh, I've had one for months.
I see.
You've been waiting this moment.
I've been waiting for so long to do this, for sure.
Dream come true.
Dreersh
come true.
Is his video frozen for everyone?
I think his video. Yeah, I think his computer died right as he came over with the charger.
He didn't.
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Oh, that's rough.
That's rough, buddy. Yikes.
Oh, what an L.
That's yeah.
Oh, he was trying so hard.
I have a good one. I have a really good one. Oh, I'm so proud of this one. I like this idea.
Oh boy, already.
An idea.
Yes.
Ooh. I've never had one of those. What's it like?
All right. Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Did your computer die
Yeah.
right as you got there?
Yeah, it did.
Yeah,
Right
it
as
was froze on you approaching the door with the cord in your hand.
my computer was like, "Oh, you're approaching me? I can't charge the shit out of you unless I get closer."
If you don't have something that you've seen, I can do the thing you encounter first, if you'd like that.
Yeah, let's do that, I think.
On your way down the road, Luke is familiar with this territory, and so he's been pointing out some things here and there. You can see the peaks of Stormhaven in the distance. This sort of central area that's clear, and around the mountains is this massive dark cloud that circles it like a donut.
Mhm.
You can literally see the rain shading that area. What you see in front of you more closely, though, is a series of colorful tents and some funny-looking lizards in robes out front.
And are you guys
really
seeing
good
this?
or really bad? Yeah. I don't recognize them.
I was going to say, by the way, I don't know. We haven't really decided where I think Vol's home village is exactly, so I don't know if I would recognize anything around here.
I thought that Heartwood might make a good one for Vol's home village. It's out up to the sort of top right. It's sort of a boonies area
Mhm.
that was connected enough to Rooston that you could get like around the woodland from it.
Okay. We can
If that
confirm
doesn't work for you, we can move you to Black Paws Dam, which is real boonies.
That might work. We could talk about that in a bit. I would say, but the thing I was supposed to say was I was supposed to mention something I had was familiar, right? Like I had seen before.
It doesn't have to be something you've seen before. It's just something that's like you see on this journey that is notable to you.
Oh, okay. Well, definitely the lizards. I think that also seeing the coast. Do you think we can see the coast from here? Because we're kind of going over the mountains toward like
You can see, yeah. I'll say you can see the coast from here.
I think
there's a bit of a raised area where you can see it.
Yeah, I think that is something that is always important, or like kind of like an occasion for Vol, in that he spends a lot of his time going around the woodland, and it's kind of, well, it's like, it's a nomadic life in a sense. It's still kind of an enclosed area and another one. So seeing the ocean is kind of an interesting feeling to him, because it's travel, but it's about like kind of discovery and like more far off places that are
Okay.
That's
great.
He sees these fucking lizards, and he's like, "Oh,
yeah,
God."
These lizards. You know what? By now they are on the path in front of you, and they notice you, and they wave you. They wave at you, and they're like, "Come, come."
Hmm.
These Argonians.
Do we trust lizards?
Boa tarde, amigo.
Come, Nerifar. Come.
Does
you're an
Does she have
Argonian.
where if you have coins?
No. I
Listen,
don't have anything about Argonians.
Listen. Some of my best slaves were Argonians.
I know how that sounds.
What?
You guys
I'm
are
very
missing.
uncomfortable right now.
If you've never seen I haven't even played Morrowind, and the whole Nerevar posting, or the what's his name?
Dagoth posting
thing is so good. I fucking love it. It's like, come, we shall drive the mongrel imperial lizards, dogs. I mean dogs. Look, I don't have a problem with Argonians, man. I just was expecting you to be a dark elf.
Can we just do this? This is making me uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable right now. Fucking love that thing. Yes,
I've been watching that recently. I don't know why that came up.
I
not to get us back on track.
No, you.
Far be it from me to.
I've had enough of you railroading us, Cameron. But yes, let's talk to the Brazilian lizards. Yes.
Well,
yeah, you want to approach them, Luke, since you're so intent on being on track, as you call it.
That would be a divergence from our track, but all right.
Well, I mean, they're kind of, like they're on the road, right? Aren't they? Like they're
beside the road.
They are directly on, like their tents are on the road.
Oh, okay. All right. Good day.
So they greet you at the same time. They go, "Ah, hello there, traveler. But are we not all travelers in this crazy thing we call life? I am Zoic," and the other one goes, "And I am
Oh
Zola.
no, they're hippies.
We are envoys of the greatest thing of all, the Great Dragon."
What?
Oh no.
What are what?
It's a
This
cult.
is a weird ass forest.
It's a cult. That's great.
Good for you,
Cool.
man. That
Good for
sounds
you.
honestly great.
Yeah,
That sounds like
awesome.
a time and a half.
We would love it if you would. We can tell that you are tired and hungry. Would you like to come and share in the fruits of our garden? And they gesture over to the tent, and you can see there's several rare plants and strange fruits that you haven't seen before, all kept in these planter boxes, basically. The Great
When
Dragon states that we must take care of the needy, no matter how grimy or strange they may seem. They're speaking like one after the other. They're finishing each other's sentences. Very weird.
gentlemen, I'm gonna be perfectly honest. I have a thing about accepting strange fruit from strangers in the forest.
It's that thing to say yes or to say no, because I can't tell.
I mean, it really depends on the circumstance, but in this case, it's to say no.
All right. Yeah, no, I just ate actually. Well, thank you for your offer of hospitality, though. We are trying to keep some kind of schedule getting to Stormhaven, but so we must continue on it as well at pace. But
We understand. We wouldn't force the delights of the garden on anyone.
that's good.
If you do see any more of us, please go up and talk to them. The Great Dragon will guide your way eventually, even if not now. It's not
Right.
sorry, that sounded like the other one. Sorry, that sounded like a threat. We mean to say that the Great Dragon guides all of us in our own ways, and even if you do not directly find yourself worshiping them, they will see to your health.
Okay, well, that sounds a lot more reasonable. Okay, yeah,
All
good.
right. Thank you. Have a nice day.
As you walk away, they go, "May the blessings of the dragon be upon you."
What's a dragon, guys?
Stay
I-
frosty, my dudes.
Is it a lizard?
I'm not
Oh.
sure. Listen. This is gonna sound weird, but I could have sworn that those were like the same guys who, like a year ago, I was traveling this way, and they were trying to sell people timeshares, and it would. I don't know. It was very similar, but this is a way different kind of product.
Yeah,
I see.
I'm
I don't know what a
little
dragon is either.
confused. I'm rather confused if I'm
Let's-
being honest.
Let's not dwell on it.
I agree. Let us not.
Yeah. All right. There we go.
There's some niggling sense of like you've interacted with someone like this before in the back of your mind, but you can't quite put your finger on it. Can't quite remember exactly who that could be or where they're from.
Come and look.
Hmm.
As you approach Stormhaven, you can see the ring of mountains here naturally next to the ocean naturally accrues a lot of rain and water, and so Stormhaven basically has a perpetual storm around it. This makes it very, very difficult for any sort of large parties or war machines or carts to go through because the ground is perpetually incredibly muddy around the ring. And the sea is, you can't get into Stormhaven except by a natural cave that was made into a dock, which now is used by the Marcus 8, which occupies the clearing. Stormhaven, you can't even see the town yet. It's just these huge mountain ranges, and the closer you get to it, they eclipse even the shoreline. You are at the threshold now. like 5 feet in front of you is pouring rain and lightning striking like areas of the ground. You are still on dry land in the sun.
That's Stormhaven for you.
Stormhaven hospitality.
Then, I mean, I remember it. I remember it being like this, but I didn't remember it being like this.
Baco came through the like harbor last time. It was way better. No, Paco would have come
he
down
got here. He came here during a storm, and he left during a storm.
Right.
So he didn't think it was quite this like this direct. Yes. So this is kind of a new experience for him.
Yeah. Well, this is one of the harsher days, it looks like, but yeah. It's
well,
shall
we go in?
Yeah. So you trudge through this rain. It is cold. It is wet. Your stuff is all muddy. It's nothing you're not used to. You see a few carts that lay abandoned in the muck, long since picked clean of any valuables by other travelers or bandits. Eventually you make your way up to the entrance of Stormhaven, and this beautiful, you can tell this is mouse masonry, because it's a very distinctive style. There's this beautiful, half crumbling gate with these vines on it, and it goes up into an arch, and that arch is literally cut directly into the side of 2 mountains that meet. There aren't any guards on this part of the gate. Luke would know this is because Stormhaven only has one entrance from this side, really. You can't get into it from anywhere other than the gate. So there's no point guarding the outside when the inside is, like, there's no sneaking around the inside gate unless you'd spend several days climbing an incredibly wet mountain.
Wet mountain, quote of the day.
Don't fucking...
Oh. Right. Okay. Well, let's go on in.
Yeah.
Splash Mountain, as the natives call it.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How dare you, sir? How dare you? Copyright striked by Disney.
As you head in, you can see this great dark oak gate. You can see this great dark oak gate, and on it are these reliefs of 2 axes crossing over the middle, and the center of the gate, the top, has a sword that looks very similar to Luke's sword, and the bottom has a shorter sword with the wood has been dyed there to make the blade black, and it is pointing downwards, whereas Luke's is pointing upwards. You can hear like the small side door to those gates. You hear, yeah, who is it? We need.
I'm gonna have to say this beforehand that someone else is gonna have to do the talking.
Yeah, no, they know.
Yeah,
I didn't know. All right. We're but a group of weary travelers escaping the recent attacks on the woodlands by some crazy ass moles.
It's an apt description.
Okay, how many are traveling with you right now? I mean, refugees are always welcome in Stormhaven. Count's orders.
Wow, that's like the opposite of every city ever. And I guess some people say that at least. 3, including myself. We have some weapons. We're not heavily armored, though. We can work. We are not sick, and we are not looking for any trouble.
Okay. I need to inspect your weapons here. I can give you the ticket claim for them. But we can't just let any weapons, like, you understand, like, I understand that out there It's very dangerous. Weapons are absolutely permitted. Makes sense that you'd have them, but we do have to link a face to the weapon so that, if a murder happens, we know who did it.
Wait, so real quick, when you say check, you're not meaning like a checked bag or checking a coat.
What you do is you hand them the weapon. They hand you a ticket, basically. Then when you come through the gate and see them, they write down who you are. They give you your weapon back. You give them the ticket back.
Okay. Seems like this is going to be an issue, huh?
That's fine.
All right, here's what you can do.
Neither of my weapons are conspicuous.
Oh no! I forgot!
You have two. Yeah, you have the blade or the knife too, right?
Yeah.
That
one's a little bit better, but not by much, because it was eerie, so...
Slightly better.
Slightly better.
Here's what you can do. Sorry. You chuck them over the wall.
I will say, there's no wall, it's a mountain. I will say, Vol, you don't have to check your cane, it is unassuming.
Ah, that's right. That's right.
Neat.
Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys want to do? I'm perfectly fine to do that.
I'll check my weapon. I barely use it.
Guys.
Baco's ticket is 69. Nice.
Nice.
I need help with my sword, guys.
Why do you need help with it? What's the issue?
Because they will recognize it. The sword is almost more recognizable than I am. I mean, it's literally on the gate.
Wait a second. Wait. Oh.
Okay. Well.
Wait, maybe that'll be my sword.
No, they will recognize it. That's not the...
Throw it in the river!
Put it in a stone, maybe?
The vagabonds face their toughest challenge yet. Customs.
I mean, I could put it in my cloak, which is also unassuming, and see if I could smuggle it in that way.
If you can get it, yeah.
Either that, or maybe what we could do is we chip off the stone sword in on the statue. We put your sword there.
It's a wooden relief on the door.
Oh, I thought it was like a big statue.
And it's a big version of it. It's enlarged.
Maybe we could throw the sword over the wall.
Yeah, see, that's what I was saying.
There's no wall.
Oh.
Great minds
It's
think
a
alike.
natural ring of mountains around the town.
Could I fly it over that?
I think the best way is Vol to put it in his cloak, and I just have to check this dagger.
It will be very difficult.
Alright, fuck that. Alright, Vol can hide it.
Alright, I'll put it on my back.
And I guess I'm gonna
I will do my best to be
dagger.
comedic and charming. As
there's a solid 6 seconds when when the dagger comes through, and they're like, huh. And they pass you a ticket that says 70 on it.
Okay. Well, cool.
So yeah, I guess I'm gonna walk through with the
there's a noise, and you can hear these giant chains, or I guess they wouldn't be chains because you don't have access to good metal here. You hear a rope pulley system behind the rock, and you see these doors slowly open. And as your eyes adjust to the light, Luke, for a moment you see the old Stormhaven. You see a number of hill-like burrows built into the ground. You see grass over top all of these and flower pots in windows. You see mice walking about and having fun and chatting, and you can see the market square. And as the light fades, you see an industrial town in its place, full of the Marquisate-styled buildings that are almost identical row after row, cobbled streets, lamp posts. The old market square is now... There aren't markets there, it's just a town square. There's a market district off in a corner somewhere, and you see a great, complex of what you can assume are labs or blacksmiths, forges, or something that are pumping smoke into the air.
This town is kind of a shithole.
Yeah.
Oh, it still
definitely
looks
is.
nice. It just doesn't look Luke nice.
Shithole.
Well, this is an interesting place, and it seems they didn't find the sword, which is good. But I guess we'll try and keep it on my person until we're in a less conspicuous, more private area.
That's the idea. I need to get a wrapping for it.
Not to cut things off too quick, but it is almost 3.
Let's cut there. That's a perfect time to cut.
Good. We've arrived at the new clearing. 2 interrogations and the transitory sequence.
Yes.
I'm
Well
going
done.
to
Good stuff.
kick the bot.